What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, ReadoptionAgency.com. 20 plus years selling on eBay. He's been keeping a very close eye on me today for some reason. Alright, Adrian pulled for me, so I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. We're at 6:30 p.m. So since about 8:30 this morning, sold about 36 items. Plus we had like the 14 or whatever from this morning. So yeah, so not a bad day at all. Sales are just rolling in, except for the last 2 hours. 5 o'clock hour, I only had one sale. And so far within the 6 o'clock hour, half hour in, only one sale. So kind of slowing down at the moment. So hopefully that'll pick back up for the evening time. So yes. And I've got one video uploaded for Saturday thus far. Kind of, if you didn't see it on Facebook, you can see it on Facebook now if you want to, or wait till Saturday on YouTube. Explaining why I tell all thrift stores that I'm a reseller. So I know some people don't like to say it because they are afraid, but I've always done it, and you'll see that video Saturday. Or you can check it out on my Facebook page now. So let's get into it. Let's go. Let's start off with some women's Asics. I believe this was a recent pair. Picked up at the Honey Hole for probably $5. 4 or 5. They've been kind of pricing their shoes a little bit differently lately. So 4 or 5 on these. Sold them for $19. Headed to Beaverton, Oregon. All right, next up, George Benson Breezin' CD. Sold for $5. Headed to Pulaski, Wisconsin. Andy Williams Greatest Hits on CD. Sold for $4.50. Headed to Illinois. Glen Ellen, Illinois. Shauna CD. Sold for $5. Headed to Piedmont, South Carolina. Murder Was the Case soundtrack. Sold for $7. Headed to Katy, Texas. Holy crap, you're not going to believe this. If you're not watching and you're listening, you better watch right now. Are you ready? You're not going to freaking believe this. Mr. Piggly Wiggly's doing a headstand. How freaking awesome is that? All right. Beatles 8-track. Beatles 65. Sold for $21. Headed to Jacksonville, Florida. Wait a minute. Now that I look closer, look at the way he's positioned. And look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle behind him, and look at that big smile on his face. What the hell are you two doing up there? No dirty stuff in my boxes. No, I did not place them. I'm guessing Adrian had to pull something up there, and he just rummaged through it, and that's the way they ended up. All right. Reuben Wilson CD, sold for $5. Headed to Spokane, Washington. Chingy, Hate It or Love It. Sold for $4.50. Headed to Inglewood, California. Alrighty, we got BTO, Rock and Roll Nights 8-track. Sold for $10. Headed to Maryville, Tennessee. Alright, it's the Booty All-Stars! And this is the last month to do my Germany test, because I think tomorrow, I guess, starts the whole new thing you have to sign up for and get whatever. I know the company you have to go through is like $59 a year, so that's why I was trying to determine if it's worth it for me. So what, I sold 4 or 5 items this month going to Germany. And this one sold for $10. So it may be worth it. I may look into it and see. So this is going to Germany. Benny Goodman Pure Gold cassette sold for $5. Headed to Roseville, California. A Real McCoy cassette single sealed sold for $7. Headed to Topton, Pennsylvania. We got the Fugees cassette only, no J card. Sold for $7. Headed to Lowell, Massachusetts. All right, got this little classical piece here. Sold for $5. Headed to Willowick, Ohio. Ooh, I want to go there. Willowick. Caught it this time. Are you ready for a cassette line? So that one I just showed you, plus this one, paid separately. Both together, sold for $10. Headed to Willowick, Ohio. you hold me now in your loving arms? Thompson Twins, the best of cassettes, over $7. Headed to Bangor, Maine. I just put this up yesterday. Acoustic Junction cassette. Surrounded by Change. Sold for $7. Headed to Westminster, Massachusetts. We got a little Sammy Hagar for you. Sold for $6. Headed to Cape Coral, Florida. All right, Alabama cassette single Angel Among Us. Sold for $7. Headed to Norton, Virginia. I always get this question a lot, and it says, how much is my profit margin on my items and what have you? And I just like to say, the way I like to look at it is, my profit at the end of the month is as little as possible. That's the way I kind of play the game now. I take payroll, obviously, give payroll to my son. Then I got all the bills that I pay with the business, whether it's car or cell phone and storage lockers and all that good stuff. And then been spending at the honey hole to get that extra little goodness. And then what I do is spend as much as I can to kind of break even. I usually try to stay within like a $2,000 profit to break even every month. That's just so the money I'm not paying all that in taxes to Uncle Sam, and I'm putting it back in the business or in myself, if you will, type of thing, where I'll take more payroll if I have to. If my sales keep going up, then I'll take more payroll. I've been buying a lot more dinners. We go out to thrift and stuff. I'll buy more dinners. This weekend on the trip that I'm going to go on, I'll pay for the business on the trip and just stop somewhere along the way and do a little business shopping. So it'll be a business trip. And I'm sure I'll find something in that area too. I'll find anything anywhere when it comes to flea markets and thrift stores. So I'm sure I'll find plenty of stuff to stop and look at. So it'll technically be a business trip. So, and then, I do stuff like we buy the laundry detergent with the business, anything that you can write off on as a business expense that you would use to run your business. And like I said, that's anything from your car to laundry detergent to storage lockers to whatever. So my goal now is just to make as little as possible, basically at the end of the month for the business. And the rest just goes to make my life better, if you will. So hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, are you ready for a hat lot? Yeah. All right, this is one of my repeat buyers. This is going to Beaverton, Oregon, and then over to China. And it sold for $63. And we got 7 hats here. So we got a Titleist Cardinals. We got this vintage Nike. Advice from the Sun. Destin, Florida. Georgia. Hubs. And Boston Quarries. Boom. $63. 7 hats. Kind of elaborate. When it comes to per piece, I don't even look at it like that anymore. And how I keep track. Now, when it comes to taxes and my numbers, I don't deal with them. The tax people I use, they have all my passwords. So they go into my eBay, get all the info. They go into PayPal and my bank. They go in themselves, pull out all the info with QuickBooks or whatever they use. I don't even know what they use. But they pull all the info out and then give me a P&L statement for every month. So then I know exactly where I'm up or down. But what I do during the month is I have an Excel spreadsheet. So anytime I put money into I got it set up to where when each day the money goes into my account, I put it in the money in column. I have a money spent column for product. I have a column for my payroll, for my bills that I pay. So I keep a running total right there in front of me every day of if the business is up or down for that day. So like for the year, what we're 5 months, getting ready to hit 6 months in. And I think my total profit on paper for the business is $4,200. And that is because I keep spending here and spending there and putting it back in, and buying extra supplies, or I bought, go out and buy those shelves last month. And, I just keep buying little things to make the business better or give myself extra money, things like that. And to keep that number as low as possible, so I'm not just paying pointless money to Uncle Sam at the end of the year and then, just basically kissing it goodbye. So I am enhancing the business with that money or my payroll. So with the work I do, and I'm probably technically underpaid for the amount of hours I put in. So it won't look weird to the IRS or anything like that. It won't look off. And if it's items that, your business can use, there's no IRS issues or nothing like that. Computers, detergent, like I said, car insurance, storage lockers. I'm trying to think of everything. The $300 a month, I pay the tax people to do paperwork for me, so I don't have to. And then that includes payroll tax every month too. They take the payroll tax; it's all done automatically through their payroll system. I think he uses this thing called Gusto, Gusto, and everything's done automatically. Takes the payroll out, puts it in my account, my personal account, Adrian's personal account, and go ahead and sends it to the IRS is it Jefferson City? This payroll is local, right? I don't even remember. So I like not having to worry about that stuff. Let them worry about it. So that's all done automatically. So yeah, I don't look at it piece by piece anymore. I just kind of look at it on a daily basis to see if I'm up or down, see if I should go spend some money, see if I don't spend money. So depending on the sales. So that's how I look at it. So if that makes more sense to you, I'll try to break it down a little bit more for you. All right, we got a St. Louis Cardinals hat here. Sold for $7, headed to Canton, North Carolina. All right, we got a New York Yankees hat. Sold for $7, headed to Orchard Park, Orchard Park, New York. Got this listed as unknown home logo. Sold for $6, headed to Manchester, New Hampshire. The O'Reilly 300 hat. Sold for $10, headed to Franklinton, North Carolina. All right, Missouri Tigers. Sold for $9, headed to Deloge, Missouri. Mount Rushmore hat. Sold for $10, headed to Portland, Oregon. One question that you may ask after watching this video is, do I pay like utilities or rent with the business since I work from home? And the answer to that is no, because when we originally started the business, we were going to do that. But at the time, and I haven't checked on it since then, so I don't know if things have changed. But at the time, you would have had to declare, there would have been a lot more a pain in the butt, like if you go to sell your house and things like that. There was a lot more details that went into it. So it just really wasn't worth it for us. Just take more in payroll, basically, is what I ended up doing. So yeah, so I don't pay house utilities or overhead rent-wise, because of there's, like I said, there was a lot of little factors that it didn't make sense to do that when it comes to reselling your house and what have you. So, and there probably was more to it. I don't remember. I mean, that was 20 years ago. So, and like I said, it may have changed by now. So it might be something you can talk to, your tax person with to figure out if it's something that's worth doing nowadays or not. I haven't even thought about it myself. So. All right, we got White Pass Yukon route hat. Sold for $10, headed up to Michigan. This has been a repeat buyer. Has been buying a lot of hats from me. I can tell because his name's in looks like Chinese, and but it goes to Inglewood, New Jersey. So that's how I can know it's him. All right, and sold for $6. All right, we got a vintage Anaheim Angels hat. Sold for $12, headed to Rogers, Arkansas. So I got a story for this Lenny and Joe's fishtail shirt. So I went over to the honey hole last week, and this was like in a bin. They were getting ready to process it. I was kind of paging through the bin to see if there's anything I just wanted to pull out and buy there. And I saw this, and I started grabbing it. I'm like, I ain't gonna worry about it. Was just in that mood that day. So I went back to 2 days later or whatever, and it was on the rack then as I was going through clothes, and it was there. And I'm like, okay, I'll get it. It's only $1, right? So I grabbed it and put it up, 2 days ago? 2 days. But anyway, sorry, I'm being talked to at the same time. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to figure out what they wanted to eat. They keep asking me. But, so I ended up getting it and put it up, and it sold almost immediately. So this sold, I don't even have it clicked yet. So I paid $1 for it at the Honey Hole, sold for $9. Headed to BB, Arkansas. Living the dream. Nice little trailer park with your pick 'em up truck. T-shirt sold for $6, headed to Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, I might have picked this up at the same time I picked up that other one I was just talking about. So we got the Mountain. They've been getting a lot of these at the Honey Hole lately, but they finally priced this one at $1. So I'm like, snatch. I think there was one other one too. Did it sell yet or no? I don't think so. I think it's got wild stallion horses on it. I don't know if it's sold already or not. Don't remember. But anyway, just put this up the other day too. Sold for $11. Headed to New Hampshire. And that I talked about in one other video where the old money neighborhood where I've been watching and looking for yard sales. I went to an estate sale, bought like 2 items there, and there was a yard sale within that area Saturday, but it was all junk. But they're having like a big subdivision sale, or neighborhood sale, I should say, in that area coming up in a couple of weeks. So kind of excited about that. See what I can find in that. See if it's going to be as, just something's been telling me it's going to be, that area is going to be awesome with yard sales this year. So we shall see. Got this Browning button-up men's shirt here. Sold for $6. Headed down to Texas. Texas. All right, we got a Margaritaville, Jamaica t-shirt. Sold for $7. Headed to Lake in the Hills, Illinois. Cool little White Castle shirt I found not too long ago. So far, $10.50. Headed to Wheatley Heights, New York. Are you ready for a vinyl light? Yeah. We got 4 vinyls going over to Hong Kong. Taking advantage of my... Stop it. Stay in there. You freaking thing. Taking advantage of my clearance on 3 of the 4 items. So we got $13 for 4 vinyls going to Hong Kong. We've got Pete Fountain, Beatty Bam, for Pete Fountain. Headed to Hong Kong. Glory Road Singers, old time preacher man. Can I have those guitars? Can you imagine what they're probably worth by now? Those are all Gibson. That would be awesome. Alrighty, so far $10. Headed to Cleveland, Ohio. We got the cute cuddly Care Bears. Vinyl. So far $5.50. Headed to Pinson, Tennessee. This was part of that country collection. Because I remember, because I got actually 2 of these. So I still got 1 listed in the store, I do believe. Unless it sold over the weekend when I didn't ship. So John Conley Greatest Hits sold for $7. Headed to Cosby, Tennessee. Cosby, Steels and Nash. Honey Hole item for $1. Sold for $7. Headed to Lovington, New Mexico. Alrighty, we got this vinyl box set here, 3 Sisters. Sold for $10. Headed to Brooklyn, Illinois. Good Lord, James, what's wrong with you? Brooklyn, New York. All right, I'm just going to show these and the price and where they're going because food's going to be here shortly, and I still got to answer my emails before I can call it a night. So we got this little Kinder Egg guy here. He sold for $10.50 and headed to Connecticut. And finally, I picked up at the bins like a bunch of these Menards, different styles, Menards coffee mugs. And finally one sold, only for $5 now though, because I've knocked them down in price. Going to Grand Forks, North Dakota. So that's it. I'm going to do the printout real quick. Create scan form, and we'll see if the dogs come running. All right, I'm gonna hit this print. Well, it's got to generate first. You gotta love it. I'm like, time to go? Is it our dinner time yet, too? Which it is just about. Ooh, you got sneezies. Kids ready? You got sneezies? All right, lights are off. What's up with that ear? Is that new style? Oh, you got scratchy. Got itchy ear. We can rub that. We can rub that so you don't hurt yourself. Yeah. All right, let's go, kiddos. Let's go, kiddos. All right, thanks everybody for watching, and we shall see you in the next video. Later.